Okay, good afternoon, traders. Hope we're all doing well today. We're going to go through today. We'll have a bit of a chat about three tech shares that are set to accelerate higher and why we like them. Firstly, what we'll do, go through, you can see on the page, obviously, as per usual, you can see the trade setup stream site there. Um, you can join us at on Twitter at trade_setup. Go to Facebook and join us there at Trade Setup, and or link into us on YouTube. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel, which is down the bottom right hand corner. Also, just remembering we've got a general advice warning just on there. Take some time to read through that. We don't give specific advice through the streams with what we do. And also with the Trade Setup app also, we just give general advice. So it's just our own opinions of what we believe is happening in the market and what stocks we actually like. So take your time to read through that. Uh, like I said, we're going to go through the live stream today with a topic on the tech stocks and why we like them. Before that, we'll just quickly go through the market, 5 minutes spent on the market and what we're doing. And we'll also have a bit of a look at, sorry, just get rid of a call coming through. We'll also take a look at a couple of currencies, like I mentioned yesterday. We're just going to take a look at the Aussie and the Euro. We won't look at the pound. We'll take that. We'll take a quick look at that tomorrow, I guess. Um, do the stream. We'll present the video, the presentation, and then after that, just any questions you can go through, and then we'll take a look at some stocks with whatever you like. So, if you've got some stocks in the mind to take a look at later on, you just want an opinion on those, just whack them into the chat and then we'll go from there. Otherwise, if you want to actually send some, just remember you can send some trades. If you want to send some charts through of what you're looking at and why, and you just want a second opinion, or even some trades that you've done um, in the past, and you whether they worked or not, you just want an opinion on why. Just through another set of eyes. Send those through to support@tradesetup.com.au, and we'll go through those too. That's as long as you don't mind going through a few charts anyway. Let's get cracking then. Let's get on with it. The market. As we mentioned this morning, we were expecting that to open up 25. The market got sold off, so we gained gained a lot of ground on Monday. I think it was up about 56 thereabouts what it finished up, and it pretty much gave it all up yesterday. So today and then overnight, the market just bounced from the lows where they closed during the day and picked up about 20 points on the SPY futures overnight. So we're expecting the market to open up about 20 points stronger, which it is, and it's just hanging around there at the moment, around 557.86. We can see there. So we'll go through just a couple of charts. We'll go through our other platform there. Just one second. Here we go. This is the 30-minute chart of the ASX. You can see that big kick up on Monday and then that big sell-off yesterday. And we did push up through a major, not a major zone, sorry, a resistance zone around that 58.10 mark. We can just see that lower high form as we spiked straight through there quite hard on Monday. Pull back, we went to go again, made that lower high, and then we just contracted back into the zone for the rest of the session. And then overnight, and then obviously yesterday opened up and pretty much got sold off down to pretty much low where we opened on Monday and retested support around that 57.45. Worked their way back up overnight, back up and retested that 57.97 level. And you can see that was the key of holding this leg down actually. That was your anchor level just for that contraction or that move lower. And it's just retested that. So it looks like we're just contracting at the moment. The MAs have crossed back up. So it'd be interesting to see if we can just, look, we'll just draw it up. If we can just build at a price action maybe like this and then contract a bit and for a potential kick higher overnight. And we're finding that a lot of that action is happening overnight. So we did get a momentum day on Monday, obviously, but we may just contract the rest of the day, build into the European session, and then kick high in the US if they actually continue to be positive. Remembering what they're looking at now, what they're focusing on in the US is reporting. So we've got all company reports for I think it was last quarter or end of last year coming out. They're all due. So I think a lot of traders are focused on that to see whether there's going to be strength in the company reporting. I think they're expecting a general S&P to be up around 5.6% across the board. So if there's any major disappointments, you may see a bit of a sell-off and just some profit taken in the equities. Otherwise, I would expect if the companies come out and the reporting is quite strong, then we'll probably see that continuation of the strength. Strength in the markets. We also got Trump talking. I think it's his first as president-elect, uh, first speech he's going to do. I think that's tonight or sometime, Wednesday US, so which is our night during our night session. So be interesting to see how the market takes it and what he says. So he could get a bit of a kick up if he just reiterates what he's been elected for, I guess. And so I don't know what time that actually is out. I think it's due out tonight, or they said Wednesday anyway. I found it on Bloomberg. So if you see some of that and some news headlines come through, I've just got the Bloomberg app on my phone, so they'll pop up with some alerts, what he's saying and how the market's taking it. All right, that's where I view the ASX at the moment. It could just be backing off. If this level does hold and we just build a more major, we build a lower high here, we could contract all the way back down to retest 57.45. But just that type of price action looked like it could contract in, and then I'd expect that continuation higher because that's the longer term. This is the anchor level really for that uptrend. 57.45 was retested, so it'd be interesting to see if this is a major lower high or just a bit of contraction and continuation back up. Let's take a look at the Aussie now. This is a daily view of the Aussie. Anyone trading currencies much? Punting away in the Aussie, or they're playing around in the euro? I know the pound's seen a bit of action, and the euro has. Well, they all have really. They're all linked into the US dollar, but I think the pound's been having moves against the US dollar. So you can see on the Aussie, I'll go right back to the left-hand side. You can see my mouse there. Yeah, right back to 105, 105.90 thereabouts. It was above parity there. Got sold off, and then we had that contraction back up, just really contracting of that leg down, popped back up to about that 97, just below $1, and then had another sell-off, pull back of that leg to about that 94.80 zone, and then had a good strong sell-off all the way down to pretty much current levels. Well, just off current levels, 68.50, 68, yeah, about 60 zone there. The thing, so that current leg down, that had a bit of contraction just in here. So we've got a bit of a level up here at 81.32, which produced that leg down. And then we did contract off there. But realistically, I don't know if you can see that. This little zone in here, for this leg down, that was the key. Just that little high in there. And we really didn't break it. Did retest back down to support at 68.50. So the way I'm viewing this is a key level, the anchor holding this leg down. I wouldn't necessarily think this is an anchor down here. Look, it could be, which if that's the case, it's broken. Just this height, well, just draw that up. Let's just delete that. Oh, that's no good, is it? Can't even see that. All right, so this is a level just in here. Just in here. So we've had that move down. All right, we just make that a bit larger. Had that move down. We had a bit of a bounce off, what was it, 69, say 69 even, bit of a bounce up there, and then we pretty much fell over and retested it. But it didn't break this little zone in here, and that was the anchor. That was the anchor for really that final push lower. It held, it rolled over, so we just sort of retested it. We had a bit of a washout of the previous lows, and then we bounced quite hard. So it'll be interesting now to see. I'm still seeing this 81.50 zone. That level there is a key anchor level for that move down, and we're really just doing a bit of back and fill, really just moving up. Like we've said before, if you've got one leg down or up, you're looking for a retracement of 1/3 to 2/3, which it could be what we're seeing now. That's probably about 1/3 that high. This level up here, looks like my battery's running out of my mouse. Trading euro. Okay, yeah, we'll have a look at that in a second, Michael. And pound yen. All right, so we've got it built a low just down at 71.50. We did push up, but we failed to get up through there. So you can see those highs were just failing. Had a bit of a pullback, another retest, tried to get back up there, and then we just failed since. So we've just retested that 71.50 zone, and we've probably spoken that a while ago. So it'd be interesting to see if we can hold up here what we would like to see for this market to kick on higher, or at least the Aussie to kick on higher. I think if we can get through that, and then we could start looking to build. Oh, we get that high low building, a bit of contraction there, that should take us back up, you'd expect. Well, washing out a few of these short traders. We just want to see evidence of that level holding, some high lows building, and then you start getting that wash out of these. People have been shorting in here, shorting it off this 78.10 level. Otherwise, this could just hold here and roll over and break straight through that support level, 745 or 50, and then head back down to at least retest it, even break straight through, because that means this is going to be a key level at 78.10. So it'd be interesting to see if you're working any long side. You'd be wanting to see it really just a this is a daily chart, don't forget. You want to see those higher lows, a bit of a break up, even if it pushes just up to, could retest this level at 75.15, or it just breaks up a few pips, 10, 20 pips, pull back, build a shoulder, even if it's failed, continuation lower, and it looks like this leg down is starting to fail. Continuation, any sellers are starting to get caught out, and buyers are stepping in, and then we get that push back up, and we're going to start attacking that 7,800, even higher. So we'll see how that plays out. Let's take a look at the euro now. That's a daily view on the euro as well. We've had that contraction higher, and that was way back in 2014, started 2014 when it hit the highs around 140, 1.4, however you want to say, 1,400. Then it pretty much dropped out of the sky there. It just got sold off quite hard, and you can see it accelerating hard towards the end. When we can see these moves, it was a bit more controlled, and it started getting those moves down, started getting a bit sharper, and those pullbacks started getting a bit weaker, and buyers really started jumping in there, left, right, and center. Probably see that a bit better if I can push it out. So you can see that move down was quite strong, and then we found a level at 104.50, say, contracted off there, and you can see again. That's at the time that was the anchor, and that held. It tried to, still holding that trend down. It was rolling over, but then it held another support level. It found a higher bid there, a higher low it built, and started building. Just break up through that, broke out of that trend down, and we look like we're just in some longer term contraction at the moment. But the thing is, what we've got is that double top, essentially a double top, a major double top around that 116.25, and we've worked our way lower off that. It hasn't really accelerated at the moment, like we saw that at price action selling off down there. So it'd be interesting to see if this actually holds up. If this is just a major washout of that support zone, previous lows, really washed about, get a few short traders, longer term short traders caught out on the short side, and whether we can work our way back off that level. Let's just draw that up as well. If we can do the same type of thing, get some failed continuation lower, start building those higher lows, and then working our way back up, and at least a test up towards that, and then we probably see a bit of a retracement and bang. But that will be, just draw that up. So at the moment, it has been consolidating for quite a while between 116, say 40 to 50, and that 104 level. So I think we're at a key level at the moment. The current price action has been, it's been pressing lower. We've got a key level just in here, and that's about that 108.65 on the daily. It's had a strong move down. I think that was over the Trump elections. We got that spike up and then bang straight down, contracted back up, and then took out those lows again, and we retested a major level, and then we just pushed back up off that level. But really, until it breaks up through 108.69, if we can get that break up through and pull back and then build a higher low, that would be ideal. If we just get a retest of there and then pull back, you get a few more short traders involved in the market, and then build those higher lows in contraction, go down to the lower time frames, obviously, for your entries, and then look for a long entry. Otherwise, if it just builds, pushes lower off, draw that in, off that level there. So we just pushed up into it and start getting those lower highs building. Then I think we're heading south. All right. So at the moment, we're just coming off a major level, but the fact that we've just pushed through and broken out and taken out a few stops, I'd say a bit of a washout there. Whether it's going to continue lower, it's at that point where it could easily just roll over and continue straight through. So you want to see that press up before you're thinking about longs. All right, any questions there, guys? Anyone got a different opinion? What do you think on that, Michael? What have you been doing on the euro? It's good to pick up. I better open that vid. Sorry, guys. All right, I know it's a bit delayed. Been going long. Just off the support there, I'm guessing. Those major levels, or is it sort of what charts you're looking at there? Stream hits. I'm just getting up a video now, so we'll get into it there. Okay, today's live stream, we're going to focus on three tech shares that we believe are set to accelerate a lot higher. They have great potential. The three companies are Iris, IRE on the ASX, Premium Limited, so PPS, and Hub24, HUB. Now, they provide platform services to financial planning, and they all look really, really good. So we'll go through those on the fundamentals, quickly overview what. Sorry, guys, I wasn't meant to press play. Anyway, so you can hear me, I'm guessing there, Susan, no worries. So the three shares that we're looking at, they're in the financial service and they provide platforms for portfolio management and or trade execution. There is one, Iris, IRE, that's a trade execution, and they do a few other things. I think they're into portfolio management systems as well. So they provide it to obviously traders, trading companies, or financial planners as well. They're big into the financial planning surface. So some of you, a lot of you probably will know that, I guess. Um, I know you've probably got a bit of experience in some of these. I know Davin uses Iris, which is IRO, we just mentioned. The other two is Premium, PPS, and Hub24. Now, Hub24 is the smaller of the three, but still, I think it's got quite a lot of prospects. So we'll go through that. Any questions you have, just nut about. You can put them into the chat just afterwards if there's something you missed out on, or if there's some codes or anything like that you missed out on. I'll just go through a few different things and then we'll continue on later. So bear with me. I'm just going to mute one. Okay, today's live stream, we're going to focus on three tech shares that we believe are set to accelerate a lot higher. They have great potential. The three companies are Iris, IRE on the ASX, Premium Limited, so PPS, and Hub24, HUB. Now, they provide platform services to financial planning, and they all look really, really good. So we'll go through those on the fundamentals, quickly overview what they've got to offer, and we'll also finish up with just comparing them on the technical basis. We've followed each of these companies for quite a while now. We've actually had a dabble in trading Premium PPS a couple of times with mixed success, one win and one loss really. The other two we haven't, but we have been following along closely. So we'll kick it off with Iris, IRE. Now, the website is www.iris.com.au. This company has been around for quite a while. It has been, it's big into the broken industry, so it is a good execution platform for stocks and shares and also options. So it's well known to a lot of people. IRE is engaged in the provision of information trading, compliance, order management, portfolio, and financial planning systems and its related tools. The key businesses and clients comprise Australian and New Zealand, Canadian, and South African domestic equity participants and wealth management professionals in Australia, New Zealand, South Africa, and the UK. Okay, it goes on to say what they actually provide, the range of services. They do buy and sell side order management systems, portfolio management, direct exchange connectivity or fixed-based routing, smart order routing. The solutions can either be via the desktop, web, or mobile device, which is a general rule of thumb nowadays anyway. What else? We got Wealth Management Solutions division is primarily based around Xplan suite of products and services. So that's generally for client management. What else have they got there? Compliance management and also portfolio management and research. So they offer quite a few different things. Okay, the most recent news flow that was out on was it the 7th of last year, or 7th of December, was Iris Technology enables lending for UK's Atom Bank. Iris announced that it successfully delivered its mortgage sales and originations MSO solution for Atom Bank's first mortgage proposition as part of its long-term strategic partnership with the Challenger Bank in the UK. What else? It goes on to say this successful implementation of MSO is an important strategic milestone for Iris. It follows a focused period of investment to um, productize capability in the UK lending business to grow recurring license-based revenue and the operating leverage Iris demonstrates across its other products and services. Okay, we're looking at Praemium Limited now, PPS. The website is www.praemium.com.au. So Praemium is less of an execution platform like Iris and more of a administration platform for financial planning. We'll just go through quickly a bit of a rundown, the business summary. PPS is a company involved in the provision of investment administration, SMA, and financial planning technology platforms. Praemium administers in excess of 300,000 investor accounts, covering approximately 80 billion in funds globally, and currently provides services to approximately 700 financial institutions and intermediaries. A VWrap is a portfolio management solution used by accountants, financial advisors, stockbrokers, self-managed super funds, and administrators and institutions who usually rebrand and package the services for their own customers. SMA, Premium's SMA platform is a separately managed accounts platform that utilizes the expertise of model managers without having to buy units in the fund. We'll go on and take a look at Smart. That's in the UK and internationally also. The company's core proprietary SMA technology enables financial advisors to select investment models provided by third-party investment managers or Praemium's in-house investment management solution through Smart Investment Management SIM. Client portfolios can be invested in one or more of these models without having to transfer the money into the managed fund itself. Wealthcraft. Praemium also provides customer relationship management CRM and financial planning software known as Wealthcraft. It is powered by Microsoft Dynamics CRM and allows advisors to seamlessly manage their client practice and campaign information while complying with the regulatory requirements. So it all looks pretty good. Let's take a look now at any press releases. Okay, they've had a good spate in the past of funds under management growth, and the most recent one was actually today. Let's take a look at that one. So it's got Praemium's funds under management, FUA, up 29% in 2016. 10th of January 2016, Melbourne Praemium is pleased to report that it has delivered a strong result for the 2016 year with funds under administration, FUA, up 29% to 5.4 billion as of 31st of December 2016, an increase of 1.2 billion. So that's very positive for the company. It actually got a bit of a kick on today. I think it finished up about 11%, so doing very, very well. You can take a look at that, obviously go to their website and take a look at that a bit more in depth, and you can see the previous ones as well. Okay, Hub24 now, we'll take a look at that. HUB, the website is www.hub24.com.au. Not as big as the other two, but pretty much it is showing good signs of growth. So we do like this one as well. They are into the asset management side of things and into the financial services, but they do also offer Hub24 Invest, which is a portfolio solution, a bit like Praemium PPS. So we'll just go through the business summary here. Hub24 Limited is a financial services company focused on the delivery of Hub24 platform and can also provide a licensing solution to financial advisors through its wholly owned subsidiary, Paragam. So they do white label also a bit like Praemium. Hub24 platform supports the achievement of superior superannuation and investment outcomes for investors. It is a next generation service with the state-of-the-art portfolio management, transaction and reporting solutions for licensees, financial advisors, accountants, stockbrokers, and institutions. Just take a look at Hub24. The solution is a comprehensive investment portfolio solution customized to meet the needs of both advisors and investors. Operating as an investor-directed portfolio service, Hub24 Invest allows investors to tailor an investment strategy for a broad range of investment. They go on to got another product there, Hub24 Super. It's a comprehensive public offer superannuation fund that provides accumulation, account-based pension, and transition to retirement pension accounts to help build super savings and draw a pension in retirement. So they're looking quite good as well. We'll take a look now to see what they've got in the way of previous announcements. Just looking at, there hasn't been a lot of standout news announcements. So we'll go back to the chairman's address to the AGM, and that was on the 29th of November last year, and the market did actually pump up, I think 3.5% that day. Let's just take a look now on the key points highlighted here in the chairman's address for the AGM. So this year was a period of significant development for our Hub24 platform. Our focus on new marketing our wealth management solution and investment in product and technology features has resulted in strong growth for Hub24. Okay, a few key points. Our retail funds under administration increased more than 94% over the year with positive operating cash flows and positive EBITDA for the second half of financial year 16. Revenue from ordinary activities increased by 49% to 43.657 million for the year ended 30th of June 2016. In our investment platform segment, revenue increased to 15.41 million for the financial year, an increase of 91% over the prior corresponding period, while our costs increased by only 40%. So that's looking good so far. Retail funds under administration increased by 94% to 3.31 billion as of the 30th of June 2016, and currently is 3.96 billion as of the 28th of November. So that's looking quite good there actually. So they're actually on the right track. Looks like they're gaining growth, which is what they expect. So what we'll do through it now is just go through the technicals of each and have a look. Okay, we're heading back to Iris, IRE. We'll take a look at the weekly chart just to kick it off with. Obviously, you can see there it's heading in the right direction. It's heading its way north. So that's what we always like to see. We'll just draw up a few key things here. We can see that it's been dipping down, building some higher lows. We can see we've got here, and the most recent uptrend, higher low, which is nice. Another higher low here. And we're just looking now to making a bit of a wedge formation on the weekly basis. So be interesting to see. It may contract a bit further than there, but we've got the MAs which are heading up. It is looking to get a bit extended, a little bit extended up here. So we may do a bit more work between the support and resistance, bang around in there, contracting a bit further before looking to head higher. So we'll just drill it down now to the daily chart. Okay, just taking a look at the daily here. I'll just stretch that a bit there. So we've got, like we said before, just the higher lows in place of the weekly higher lows. We've got one here, the most recent one here. So we've got this high low produced the leg up there. We saw some contraction back down, and that most recent high low around the $9 mark or 8.90 has produced that current leg up there. And what we are, like we said on the weekly chart, we're starting to see a bit of price contraction. So the good thing is we want it to hold above that higher low there at $9 and create another higher low potentially. We may be seeing, we'll just draw it up. What we're sort of expecting now is this zone to hold at 10.50, price to contract in on itself, and then what we'll be looking for, we'll just drill down a bit more. Out of that price contraction, we want to see the higher lows hold. If we can see this type of price action, potentially the market pull back, build that base, build those higher lows and give us an entry. But we want to see it get through that high just up there and potentially entry through there, but we'll see how that plays out. So our IRE does look like it has good potential. It is holding longer term higher lows, which we're really pleased with. And what we are looking for now is just price is contracting. It is holding some lower highs, but also the higher lows on a longer term basis. So we really want that weekly high low to hold and to see that price start to pop up and take out some of these lower highs, preferably at the 12.11 mark and then just kick on from there. Okay, over to PPS Premium Limited. Again, just glancing at that, it is heading up in the right direction, and it looks very good. And remember, the fundamentals, they had a couple of good results just of late, so we'll see if that trend can continue. Now, what we're looking at on this one, obviously, we've got those high lows are holding. We want those to continue to hold. We'll just draw in a few key levels. We've got a key level through here, and that's around the 26 mark, where it's held that high low. Did contract in, touched it a few times and retested it. It just started and then started to break out. Had a bit of a pullback, held that high low just above at 28, up from 26, and then it just really did push on higher and took out that high at 44. So what we want to see now is price looks like it is contracting, but we want to see it pull back and potentially just build another higher low. It did have a bit of a kick down to, was it 36? If we can sort of go down there and retest, just build a high low there, and even potentially we're starting to see a bit of contraction there. If we can contract in, build that high low, and then kick on from there, we'll be looking at, so we'll go down to a daily chart now. Okay, the daily is looking good. We've got that, that's the weekly anchor leg. We had that contraction down, held that leg around that 26, and that produced that current move up to 54. Now we do have a bit of a few lower highs just in there, so we are in the process of just contracting a little bit lower. So what we would like to see, obviously, to jump into this one, we've got a little support probably through that 36 zone. So if we can just get it to push down there and we start getting price contraction a bit, even if we get this, some minor lower highs and higher lows, just contracting in on itself, and then we get that push up out of contraction, and that should bring in some more buying, especially with those fundamentals to support a move. So what we're looking at is that type of contraction in there, and an entry potentially through here. If price does contract in here, if it just holds up here, it just kicks up, and then it starts just oscillating through here, and we get that higher level of contraction, then fine. Either way, we're looking for that entry on a kickback out, just so we can actually define our entry areas. So that's looking good too. The longer term is actually heading in the right direction, heading higher. So really just looking for a push back out of that contraction, pushing higher and attacking those highs around 54 and above. And last but not least, we look at the weekly chart on HUB Hub 24. Now that's, if we got it somewhere around here, that would have been awesome. That's a very nice looking chart. We can see, we'll just draw that in. We've had that prices, contracting in, holding higher lows. You can see that higher low just in here. This is way back in 2014 through 2014 into 2015. And then we just started getting that push out through those little highs, another higher low, and then you started getting that acceleration. These minor levels here would have been really, really nice. And we had that acceleration up. We had contraction lower, which you can see through here, and then just kicked up. So it would have been probably potentially a nice little entry just in here for another move higher. So at the moment, as the way it stands at the moment, we don't know exactly. I mean, it's hard to see. We have just, if we go, we'll have to go down to a daily. Actually, we'll just go down to a daily first. So we can see that current leg up out of the pullback on the on a daily chart. Let's actually just make that a little bit more data there. So you can see that contraction, that was on the weekly basis, that contraction, and then built and pushed back up out of that, what was it, about 348. And then we had a little bit of contraction there on the daily, but that was really just that continuation of that leg higher. So the key level really is this 489. It did push up off 489, so you get that little rally high and really did spike higher and flush out a lot of long traders. And then it's just recently, and that was back in end of last year, and then it's just capitulated back down to retest that 489, and we're just bouncing, in the process of bouncing off that level now. So we don't know from here where the price is just going to go up, make a major lower high, and then start to work its way lower and break that level, and then do longer term contraction. So we're expecting a bit of that, just contracting this current leg higher. If we can look at that, just make that a different. So this is all in context to that that leg up. Okay, so we've got the leg up in blue. We may just be contracting longer term that leg up, or just continuing on that leg. So either way, if we get that lower high and we get failed continuation up, and we do come back down and retest or even break that 490 zone, then we'll be looking for price to contract again, a bit like premium, and then build a longer term move higher. But if it doesn't, we just hold that level. If this just continues on here, let's just go. Well, let's just delete that off. What we'd be looking for from here is off this support. That's a support zone there at 490. It's pushed down. We've just got that recent push back up. So if we can just get maybe contraction around here and then continuation of that leg up, then we've got our little entry set up through there. But we want to see that just hold up above 490, maybe contract a bit and then produce another little spurt up. And that way we'll at least be retesting back up towards 610, those 610 highs, even breaking a bit higher. Would be nicer, I think, over longer term, get a bit of that contraction on a longer term basis, contract that overall leg higher, contract in, really come to a point and then start to hold some higher lows and push its way back out and produce another longer term leg high. And that should take us straight up and through that 610 zone to new highs. Anyway, we'll see how it plays out. So there's three good tech stocks there. We're following closely and just waiting really. Premium's our key one at the moment, but the other two are still looking good. They're both heading, well, all three of them are heading in the right direction. So we'll see how they play out in the future. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Now, any questions, anything, anyone actually been trading those three or dabbled in them or been keeping an eye on them? I'm just going to kick off to see where the market is at the moment. We've only traded premium, two trades, I think, a win and a loss. So we haven't, it's pretty much a break even on that at the moment. But it looks, actually, let's just go back. So premium, I think, looks really good. It had it kicked off yesterday, which is a bit of a shame. Had a good news release, I think, just been pop. So we like that one. Hub's smaller, so we've done a 500 grand on that. What have we done on that hub? That's good. That finger is there. Hub's done not a lot, but I think that's got potential going forward. And they've been showing signs of growth. They haven't had the same news flow, but that on a weekly basis, that looks quite good. Really do like that. So if we get a bit more contraction, but this is a key level. Key level is right down at 350, so it's got room to contract 1/3 to 2/3 of this current leg higher. It could just hold these levels and just keep going straight through 625. We'll see how that plays out. All right, anyone want to look at something? Any stocks? Just whack them into the chat there. Put the codes in the chat and we'll go through them. I've got my Ninja Trader up and running, ready to go. We'll just see where we're at the moment. We've got a few here. Sim, this is one we've got active at the moment. That's pushed on. It touched up towards 37. Was it 36.90 today? We've got our final exit around that, just below these lows, higher lows here. Taking a partial at 36.50. That's kicked on quite nicely. We'll see if that can continue on. We've got BRN. Haven't looked at that. That's not a lot today. We just moved our stop up or exit around that 27 mark, just below this, because it potentially could have just washed out that high. You can see with this spike, and it got sold off, open straight through, finished on its lows. Did pop back up, and this could easily continue, but you can just see that that move there is quite strong. Oops. You can see this that's really accelerating. It's getting away from the MAs, which is always a bit of a sign, just to be on the safe side. So what else do we have? We've got a new one as of yesterday, which is, yep, GXL. That looks, on a weekly, you can see that looks, that's had a good sell-off. You know, that was your key level at the time before we washed out these lows, and then we popped back up and broke up and through that 750 mark. Been contracting, but it's potentially just holding those higher lows in here. We're long that. It's down a bit at the moment, unfortunately. So we got in yesterday, pretty much a spike high and then straight back down again. But that still looks quite good. I still like that. I think that's starting to get that price. You can see that price structure we talked about. It's got some lower highs, but it's built a couple of higher lows. And when it starts, if we can get through that, just drill in a bit, we get through these highs, and that is at 720 thereabouts. Then I think that's going to start attacking 750 and $8 and so on, and start continuing and start. What we want to get through that, and then it attacks 80 or 8, even if it can spike through, pull back, build another major high low, and then you'll start to see some acceleration just based off that weekly chart. It looks good. But yeah, that's the daily chart there. So holding that high low, you can see it's just building. What else do we have? We're keeping an eye on. We've got a few that we're keeping an eye on. ALU, we've traded that in the past. We've actually done really well on that one, I think, if memory serves me. Oh, only 8% on that, so not as good as I thought, but made 8%, which is always good. That looks like it's just been banging around between that 70, 65 support and just up at those 825 highs. Now, if this can curve up and start taking up, holding another high low, minor high low just in here, we'd expect that to take out through 825 and start attacking up towards 875 and potentially through that as it holds higher lows. But the only thing sort of working, maybe the weekly actually is in a good position. It's just this good strong move higher. So even if we do get market price, price kicking up and just retesting those highs, we're going to have a positive trade anyway. But it's that overall longer term move. You can see that's just starting to curve. It had a big week through 9 to nearly, well, actually touched on 10, I think, and it's pulled back since there. So we've got to see if these high lows hold. That's not going to be a lower high to put pressure on the buyers, but it's coming from a good zone as well. What else do we just keep an eye on there? Ingham's. Let's look at the daily. Don't mind this one. You can see price open. I think that's everything. Yeah, price is open, pushed up through 330. Had a good sell-off, which you do expect when new floats. You get the people who got in nice and early, pre-float onto the ASX. A bit of profit taken in, and you just get a continued sell down there. It popped back up. You can see that action there is a bit. It's more contractive than these. 3 weeks, and it's spent quite a few. That's 3 days. Sorry, 3 days popped higher. Quite a few days just going low, but just couldn't get that $3 zone. Couldn't hit on there. Held up. You can see these really spikes low being bought up. Rejection off that level, and then you can see these starting to accelerate higher again. And you can see this type of price action. Don't mind this. It's spent, say, 4 days going from about 305 up to 325 thereabouts. So I put on 20 cents, and it spent quite a bit of time just consolidating around that 320 mark. So if we can get that, and that can start, we can see these rejections off these lows, and we start building another higher low somewhere in 320, and just pop up through those highs. What are they? 323. Just take out those highs. I think we're going to start attacking 330, and on we may get a longer term, rally higher. But that looks good. Finger looking good. I'm not sure there, John. Underwriting, holding, being sold. Not sure. I just would assume with that type of price action, bit of profit taking. There's always, when these things float, whoever's managed to get some pre-listing, you'd always expect they always get it at a discount to what it's listed at. You would expect generally they bit of profit taking there. What else do we have? We're just kicking on. Finally figured out. Oh, that's the one we were looking at yesterday, VLW. Look at that weekly. I really do like that weekly. That's up 0.5% today. It's doing quite nicely. You can see they sort of shape, holding lows, curving bottom, accelerating up. A bit of a contraction lower, holding some lows, starting to build. Then getting that acceleration higher. At the moment, we're just in that process of hopefully it's looking like it's just contracting, get that curving base, holding some higher lows, and we sooner or later we'll probably get some acceleration higher and up and through 250, 60, say 255. But that's nice longer term price action. BRG. Susan, let's take a look at BRG. Breville. Yeah, this is one we got too. I forgot about that one. Let's go to the daily. So I did like, actually, I'll draw, I don't know if I can draw this up. Why I did, actually, I'll get my little drawing tool. Just bear with me 1 second, guys. We'll get on to this. Now I just want to go to a weekly. So actually, we don't need to draw up on the weekly. You can, quite obviously, you can see that that's heading higher. You know, we've got this good strong leg up, and that was right through 2010, 11, 12, so on. Had a good acceleration between 2012 and say towards the end of 2013 into 2014. This good strong move higher, and then we've had a bit of contraction. Tried to go again, it couldn't go. Got a bit of selling just around that $8 mark, and then got sold off. But it didn't get sold down too hard. It sort of went through. It tried to bounce off this low, and that was around 610 thereabouts. We did pop back up, made a lower high compared to 8, around at 725, and then took out $6. So just took out those previous lows, but it's not a strong move through. That's not capitulation at all. It's still getting bought up just below that level, and you can see where the stochastics were getting towards oversold. So it's pushed back down, and then you can see it's just taken out this previous little high, just here on a weekly basis. Took it out, retested, just a bit of a washout too. So retested double bottom there at 575 thereabouts. And then we started to work our way higher from there, and we're holding higher lows just at this present moment. So if we go, and that's that level there, just go draw this up on a daily, and why we do like this, Revel. Is that coming through? Yep, that's coming through, all right. Now, so you can see that's that support zone just below 6. Was it 570, 60, 65? Bit of a washout just through here, you can see, and then it started picking up. Just washed out these highs. Oh, not washout really, it's just actually took out those highs. And that was sort of the key level. Once we start breaking these levels here, you know, that's the anchor for the move down. You'd expect it to push up. If it was negative, you know, to build and then pop through. It didn't. It come all the way back up, worked its way back up, took out this high, and then come back down. So a lot of the times that's a good sign that this trend is starting to change. You're going from a move down to into consolidation at the very least. Um, so if you're looking to buy, then you're just trying to work an entry. We didn't really get that, in my opinion, and around this zone. It's just really, it's pushed down, held that support around that 560, 65, and then picked straight up off there. Whether that was news driven, I don't know. But then this is really this move here is what you'd be looking for. Took out this high, you could have gone long in here. Would have probably got stopped out in my book the way I do it, just below here. It's worked down. Well, we'll just take this out. It's getting too many lines actually. Pull back, contracted back. It wasn't too strong just up there. It had a contract, just took out these lows. So you got really another anchor level. It's just built around that 720, and it's worked another leg up here. So why I do like it is that we're starting to get what I always like to do. You can get, so I'm looking for a price. It's gone. Let's actually just draw that up a bit bigger. I just want to focus on this most recent leg. All right, why I do like this is that I like to see price, you know, we're aiming to get price from contraction into expansion. So we've had that leg up. I'm not exactly sure. It started somewhere around here. We've had that leg up, and we're starting to see obviously contraction. You know, it's broken. We've got this leg here, your sort of key level. As soon as it starts breaking down or builds that lower high, which we've got here, you've got that top of price action. Then we can see price contracting, which is fine. But we want to see an entry level when it comes from contraction into expansion, back up to expansion. So we're looking for another strong leg higher. All right, and what we're seeing is we've got contraction here. It's popped back up. If price is weak here, you'd expect it to go bang. Well, that didn't work out well. We're expecting it to push back down off this, stay within this channel. Instead, we started to build this higher low. And I always like to see that initial push up just to touch out of the channel. And if it pulls back, but whether it's a channel, it doesn't really matter about whether it's a channel or not, but you want to see price just break up. So it's the first sort of sign that we're starting to come out of contraction, but you want to be working off a higher low. Right, that's ideally what I'm always looking for. Working off that high low, we got that break up through these highs. We entered, and unfortunately today just got knocked back down again. So it'd be interesting to see if we can hold. We've got our exits around 845, I think. So it takes out these lows. We'll just have to reassess it, see how it goes. But for me, it's actually, I like this type of price action. All right. So I'm seeing this, if this can hold and we start working our way, so that's 885 level, and we've got this level through here, 850. Prices, actually, we just draw green. Prices pushed up, starting to hold. We're getting this bit of contraction in here, and then we've got that spike up we got done there. If we can get, so we're really, whether it's just going to go sideways from here, who knows? If it breaks down through that support level 850, okay, we're out, and this could easily just move its way lower. But what we're looking for is really just that to hold, even if it starts holding some minor high lows, whether it's through here, who knows, and then starts perking back up. And we want to get that acceleration back up, and then it's clear evidence that start to build that, the next major leg higher. All right, does that make sense here, guys? Anything else? We'll just get into the end of the session there. Anything else that people want to just quickly look at while we're in it? Just looking at a couple of little stocks we got there. All right. Here's one I've had for a long time. Gold stock. DRA doesn't do a lot, not now anyway. But that's not looking too bad. I like this sort of base out here. It's popped back up, held a higher low in here, and started really edging higher. Just spent a lot of time doing nothing recently. Had a couple of good news reports, but I think if they can hold that 20 mark, it may just pop back down, spike down, and then pop back up. We'll see how that goes next few weeks. But at this current time on the daily, is not looking the best, but the weekly is looking all right. So it's a bit of a fight between the two. AGO. That weekly doesn't look too bad. It's 4, isn't it? All right. Just trying to get my bearings. Yeah, that's a daily chart there. Oh, I don't know what, something's obviously happened through here. Anyway, they're back on, they're up and running. Atlas Iron, I don't know what happened there without digging into it a bit further, but you can see that key level really is at 4, or these highs anyway, through here, which is just touching up on now, I think, 3.6. Yeah, it's just up there now. High that today, so that's been working its way. It's spent a lot of time just through that around, give or take, 1 cent, banging around in there, and it's worked its way up. It's holding higher lows at the moment. It's starting to get a bit extended. You can see this current move up into 3.6. So what I'd be looking for, even if it just pops up through, if you can pop up through there, that's a nice little sign. I wouldn't be, I guess I would never, I don't like to buy on a breakout like that because, it's come all the way from 1, it's put on about 300% really, if you look at it that way, up to 350%. I think thereabouts. It's to kick up to what, 3.6. So you'd expect longer term it's going to contract off. If it doesn't, even if it just pulls back into retest this sort of breakout zone, hold another higher low for this trend up, and then once you start getting signs like this, you can see it's pushed back down. So sharp move up, pull back, tried to go on with it, made a lower high. Make a lower high, generally it starts targeting the lows, but that's all within context of this up move. Still just contracting in, and then it's built if you can get that type of, when you get into that oversold territory, you can get an entry through there. That would be nice, and then that could take us up and through. But I think it's got a bit more work to do. Well, it looks of it, it just could have a bit more work to do. Where's the weekly? Oh, it doesn't show us too much really. But yeah, it is lifting, and it spent most of last year hanging around that $1 mark. It picked up towards November, picked up off there. So we'll see how we go. Right, last but not least, we'll look at AGO then. That's what we looked at, didn't we? Oh, Brad better finish his coffee. Anyway, so that's I'm interested to see how this one goes actually. Do you actually hold that, Susan, or you just been keeping an eye on that price action? I think the key level is right up at 3.6 at the moment. I mean, for me, I don't see a reason to sell it. I don't see a reason just to buy it at the moment. If you're holding it, you'd preferably want to be holding when it's lifting off this 1 cent level, even if it's, you get that little pop up, it comes back, and if it builds that high low, you can get it in acceleration back up there. Contraction back, we've got acceleration, contraction that's accelerated back up into 3.6. Yeah, that has got a bit more volume weighted into it. So there's a few people starting to step in, which is nice. It's always good to see. I've got 4.5 million today. I know this Spark only does the ASX. It's not, is it ChiX as well? It's Iris. Devon's got Iris, but they got volume from both the exchanges, so it's always a little bit more. Anyway, let's yeah, good idea. Let's call it a day there, guys. Thanks very much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed that presentation and you've got something to look at there. But keep an eye on those. We've got an eye on those, especially premium. Just really just watching that for a get a bit of a pullback, build that higher low just somewhere around the 45 mark, and then it could be on for us. But we'll see how that plays out. All right, thank you guys. Like I said, if you've got anything, any charts, any trades at all that you want to send through and just have a bit of a squiz, if you don't mind showing everyone, send it through to the email address support@tradesetup.com.au. Otherwise, I will speak to you tomorrow and we'll get into the new topic for tomorrow. All right, guys, thank you for joining me. Speak to you soon.